Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hyperactive Vibes. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be bringing to you all my first book review titled Bald and Books. Okay, so basically in this series, I'm just going to be bringing to you guys, a book review on the most recent book that I'm reading, giving you all like a little synopsis on what I think of the book, a quick little summary of it without giving away like too many of the hot details, my takeaways, what I've learned, how I've internalized it. So a little bit about me is that I am a reader. I grew up reading. My mom's an English teacher, so like all throughout our childhood, we have books everywhere. The Junie B series, the Magic Treehouse series, all your little one-off books. We read everything we can get our hands on. We read everything. Like my siblings and my mom, they all read the Harry Potter series front, back, forward, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Like we are avid readers in this household. And I'm not gonna lie, like as I got older, I kind of grew out of that and kind of went over into the sports, more athletic things and ventures and stuff. But now as I get a little older and I'm realizing like, hey, there's some good books out there and I'm like low-key missing out on them. So I kind of want to hop back into this whole reading thing, which 2021 has been so good so far with helping me out in doing that. And first book that I decided to read was Becoming by Michele Obama. So, Becoming by Michele Obama is a book by Michele Obama. It's autobiography, and it's basically just talking about her life, and it goes into depth on her life before going into the White House, her childhood, how she grew up, her high school, her middle school, her college life, and then her actual work life, and then her journey into the White House and following the campaign and having to be a supportive wife. Overall, just sharing her perspective on her journey through the White House, what it's been like for her, the obstacles she's had to face, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the twists, the turns, all of the above. And it's a very compelling book. If you follow me on Instagram at Hyperactive Vibes, then you would know that I did not want to put this book down, but also I did not want to finish it. So I found myself like taking these really long breaks in between and then having to hop back on and reread certain parts because I didn't want to forget. And this book is really just a journey for me, and I'm happy that I picked it up. I'm happy that I actually took the time to sit down and read it, and I know that if you did the same, you would definitely not regret it. The thing about Becoming is that I truly believe that no matter who you are and what you've been through or what you haven't been through or whatever, you will find a connection in her book. Like she makes it very relatable for anybody at any stage. So you could be a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, like you could be anything. You could be none of those things and you will still find a takeaway from her book. That's how diverse and that's how fluid her life has been, is that you can relate to it from almost any stage of your life. So like I said, I would definitely recommend the book, and we're just gonna hop right in. I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm thinking. Yeah. So my first takeaway from Michele Obama's book is that we are living a life that's bigger than ourselves. It's bigger than what we can see right in front of us. And it's really easy to get caught up in just like what you're seeing right then and there and not really be able to take your own blinders off and look at the big picture. And in Michele Obama's book, she kind of talks about that in terms of her vision for her family versus the vision that was actually about to take place around her and the impact that her family was actually having. And she goes through the process. She takes you through her journey on discovering that, hey, yes, I need to fight for the picture that I have and the vision that I'm on with trying to maintain a stable household and continue on a legacy for my family. But at the same time, we are a part of something bigger, and the impact that we are having is like it's bigger than what originally what she thought, and it's just affecting a lot more people's lives. So the first takeaway is that we are living a life that's bigger than ourselves, that's bigger than the pathway that we have set. And when you kind of think about in your own household or even in your own life, you are kind of doing your own thing. You're trying to go down your own path, but at the same time, looking around you, you're seeing the impact that you're having on other people. You're seeing the way that you're touching other people and the way that you're affecting other people, and they're also having an effect on you. So when we kind of operate in our societies, we are having an impact on other people. So just by you being you and you living and you going through life, you are now impacting and your life is bigger than just that single pathway and your blinders that you're kind of on. So the way that I kind of internalized that was that, yes, I'm on this goal to do this and accomplish this and do this and succeed, but at the same time there is such a big picture that's going on that I can't even see right now, that hasn't even been fully shown to me, that I'm still focusing here, and there's so much more out there, if that makes sense, that I'm impacting, that I'm affecting, even if I'm just doing this, or even if I start to open up my perception and my blinders a little bit, that the impact that's going on is bigger than what I can know, or bigger than what I do know at this very moment. So my next takeaway was to enjoy the journey. So in Michele Obama's book, she talks about how basically she was in a rush, climb the corporate ladder, get here, go ahead, Ivy League school, succeed, lawyer, corporate firm, VP, and that was kind of her trajectory, and she was fighting this path, and along the way she wasn't really enjoying the nitty-gritty details, or being carefree, living abundantly, so to speak. And so as she transitions through life, you see how her mindset changes on the actual journey that she's on, how she takes pride and she finds enjoyment and satisfaction in just the little details. She is able to find satisfaction and contentment and enjoyment in the actual process and the journey itself. And Michele Obama isn't really shy about this. If you know, or if you follow, or if you kind of research her even just a little bit, then you would know that she was really against Barack Obama kind of going into the White House. And if you're against your husband, your partner doing something, and they end up actually doing it, oh, you're gonna need to change your mindset, or get into the groove of things. And that's really what happened. Her mindset shifted when that first point she saw that she was a part of a bigger picture, and her life was having a bigger impact than what she even thought. And she was able to enjoy those little details and just enjoy those small moments. My next takeaway is that education is a weapon. Boom, boom, boom. Education is a weapon, guys. Education is a weapon. It can be used for good, bad. It can be used to uplift or bring people down. And Michele Obama is all about uplifting people, and doing so through education and scholarship and just knowledge and exchange of just information. And she's very, very, very serious about impacting and uplifting the youth, and kind of seeing her passion and seeing her drive for it really makes you okay, what could I be doing? I'm not the first lady, I don't have her title or anything, but what could I be doing? What are the small details that I could be doing to bring up the people who are younger than me, the new generation? And a big takeaway is just that when you look at the younger generation, they are the up and coming, they are your future, they are the future of the world, the new generation that's coming up. So when we look out and we see the older generations versus the new generation, there really should not be a battle or comparison there. It should be more of a teaching and uplifting of an exchange of knowledge, so that we can all kind of grow and prosper, and that older generations know that the younger generations, they got it, we can hold it down, and also that they're going to be able to uplift and uphold some of those rituals and values and norms and traditions and et cetera, and also improve upon what we already have and be more sustainable. That's really what the message is for me, and that's the way I've interpreted, is that education is a weapon, and that it can be used to fill in the gap between generations, and then also to uplift the younger generations, so that they're able to also just make the world better, and just sustainability. Okay, now Michele Obama does this in the form of education. She really focuses on young girls and making sure that they have an opportunity. She tells the story of several young girls throughout the book, and the way she does so really compels you to say, hey, what's the disconnect here? What's the issue here? And it's education. And she really becomes a big advocate for education and girls' rights and girls' education. I keep saying education, I feel like I'm oversaying the word, but it's really what she kind of focuses on a lot. And the takeaway for me was that education is a weapon, and that I am blessed enough to have gotten an education and have literally be in college and have an abundance of opportunities. So I need to use these new tools that I have to go out and boom, 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 change the world. My next takeaway is that support begets opportunity. Meaning, if you have support, then you have opportunity. What you need is the support, the foundation to get to where you're going, even if it's not in the traditional way, whether it's through teachers or a family member or friends or a coworker, whatever it may be. Having that support can change the trajectory of your life and give you way more opportunities than you even thought was possible. In Michele Obama's book, she talks about how she is not special. She just had more support when she was growing up. There are plenty of girls who she kind of mentions in her book, and she kind of hints at being more suave, more savvy, more whatever than what she was. But it's the fact that she had the support that she did, that she was able to get to where she is at. The support of her family, of her friends, of her co-workers, of her peers. She was able to propel her life further. It's because she was just given the support and given the resources to get to where she is there. So support begets opportunity. When you have that support, you are able to achieve and have more opportunities that you can possibly, grasp and get to. But when you are not given those resources, when you don't have that support, it is hard, next to impossible. You run to some very challenging obstacles that are just completely unnecessary. That said, all of these things tie into her overall fight for women's rights and girls' education. And it's with these two things that she just makes it clear that, hey, I'm not different than you, or you. I just had some support. I just had some resources. And I want to do the same for you because we all deserve a chance. So, hey, I'm going to start this program and we're all going to go in the White House and I'm going to teach you guys. I'm going to give you guys some mentors and we're going to just grow together. I'm going to give you guys more resources and more support than you ever thought was possible. So let's do it. Let's do it. Come with me. She takes her position in the White House as First Lady and tries to lift up other women. Not even tries. She does lift up other women. She does lift up other girls. And the takeaway from that for me is, like I said, that support and resources begets opportunity, and that, hey, we need to support one another. Yes, support begets opportunity, and how can I do that? How can I support other women out there? How can I support other disadvantaged people? And so, yeah, taking that position that I have, whatever position I'm in right now, whatever power I have right now, and using that to build other people. Because like I said earlier, I have been able to go to college, I've been able to do all these great things, and been able to live a lifestyle that most people haven't. And so what am I gonna do with that? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with that? I don't know. I'm gonna support women. I'm gonna support and uplift people. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, so that's that point. I really kind of took that one kind of a little personally, a little more personal than others. So yeah, okay, here we go. On to the next. Balance is a perception. It's a perception. You are never truly balanced, okay? You're never truly one with the world, okay? But we are always trying to reach a certain level of balance that is just kind of it kind of makes you think who said that life is balanced? Who said that? Who said we have to have a balanced diet? Who said that? Who said the government? The government? But no, on a serious note, balance is truly a perception. It's truly how you're viewing it and what you prioritize at the time. And it doesn't have to be in that traditional 50 cents or 25% type of mindset. It can literally be 20% here, 30% there, 50% here, and you are whole. You feel fulfilled. You feel like you're managing things to the best of your ability. There it is. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time. Balance is a perception. As long as you feel like you are managing things to the best of your ability, then you are doing pretty much good. If you feel like everything is kind of evened out and not one thing is overweighing, and you kind of have a little handle on it and you can manage it to the best of your abilities, guess what? You're balancing it. You're balancing it for yourself. So balance the perception. But someone else looking at that, they may see you over here doing all that and you just all over the place, but you know that you have a level. So balance is a perception. That's my other takeaway. My next takeaway is that it is in these new situations that we learn more about ourselves and more of what we're capable of. So Michele Obama talks about how she did not want Barak to run for president. She did not want that. She did not even want him in politics because his schedule was so crazy. But when she was put into the new situations of having to campaign for him and having to go and be basically his advocate in the political race, she took on the role and she destroyed the role. She found out that she was capable of so much more. Like, imagine running a segment of a campaign and literally reaching hundreds, if not thousands of people. Like, and you never thought that was possible for yourself. You never really wanted to do it, and then you are put in that position, and then you thrive in it. You figure out that you actually got this. It takes a team, which is the next point, but she actually has it. She's handling it, and she's taking it on with, like, you know, taking it on all in stride, and then excelling at it. She's excelling at it, and she figured out that she was capable of so much more than what she thought, all because she was put into a new situation. So that was a huge point. It was an amazing point, and it's something that's just like, okay, maybe I just need to move across the world over to Japan and just like thrive and just figure it out and just rise to the occasion. I don't know, but yeah, the real takeaway for me with that point is just that whatever comes my way, whatever opportunity comes my way, I don't necessarily need to be afraid of it. I just need to be a little cautious of it, but also give myself to it. Like, if I'm gonna do this, then let's do it, and let's see what comes from it. So Michele Obama talks about how when she started giving her speeches and helping out on the campaigns for Barack Obama, that she was being perceived as like this harsh, angry black woman who was just angry and just, you know, very, very stoic, and how that's not the message that she was saying. Like, if you freeze frame her, you would see a very stoic face, but if you actually listen to what she was saying, she was just passionate.
All right, we got to pause really quickly. I really feel the need to point out how Michele Obama being perceived as being aggressive or having a lot of animosity or whatever the harsh narrative or harsh terms were during the times of her giving her speeches were all stemming from the idea of the angry black woman and how black women are just angry and just walking around with a chip on their shoulder and something just to prove and just mad at the world. And it really just stemmed from that whole idea, like I said, of the black angry woman, the angry black woman narrative. And so when I say that she needed a team, it meant that black women are already underneath this stereotype, are already kind of portrayed as this stereotype. So when you're on stage and you are unaware of the way you're looking, but you do know that there are these stereotypes out there that are not in your favor at all, it really takes a team to kind of shape your image, especially if you're going to be in the public eye and you know that you have certain narratives that are already set against you. So that's what I mean when I say she needed a team, and she had a team that was able to kind of spot that and then address it adequately. But I do just want to highlight the fact that this is really just stemming from the narrative of the angry black woman, and how much, like, even in these moments where black people get to a high and get to like achieve something that is so amazing, we are still held back by these stupid stereotypes that are just literally set against us, set to make us just look inferior to a certain degree, to just look as if we are just not in full character. So yeah, let's hop back in with the book review. I just really wanted to make that point.
She was just passionate, but it took a team, it took someone to tell her and say, hey, when you like look at it from this perspective, and let's try to adjust. So yes, come with the same passion, come with the same, fever. Is that the word, fever? fervor. I don't know what the word is, but come with that same drive. But let's just change, our facial expressions a little bit. So feel it, but let's feel it with a smile. Let's feel it with a grin. So it took a team for her to be able to kind of put that together. She talks about how when she goes out on the main stage and when she's like walking down the aisle, all of her looks are brought together by a group of people that help her. She talks about how even in her day-to-day life, it is a team of people that help her basically maintain her children's life and maintain stability in her life. She had a nanny, she had a cleaner, she had a chef, I believe. So, it takes a team to keep the operation running smooth. That's something that she definitely highlights about being a first lady, is that, hey, this whole first lady thing, this is not like me doing it by myself. Like, I have a lot of help, and you need a lot of help if you're going to be first lady and if you're going to be in the public eye like that. And I just kind of carry that over into my own life by saying I'm going to need a team if I'm going to do the things that I want to do and achieve the heights that I want to achieve in life. It takes a team. It takes people that you can rely on and that can kind of support you while you're supporting them. And this leads me on into my next point. Okay, my next point is that you need to pour into your circle and they will pour into you. So I have a small analogy. Think of a vase. This right here, we're going to pretend this is a vase. This is not Jamaican black castor oil. Mind you, this Jamaican black castor oil is the only true, authentic Jamaican black castor oil that comes from Jamaica. Look it up. Anyway, this is a vase. And in this vase, you can unscrew the top, and you can pour into other people to fill them up with positivity, with energy, with love and support. But they also need to pour back into you just as much. So they are not emptying you, you are not emptying them. You guys stay fulfilled and stay jiggly caliente, okay? If you get that reference, then you're awesome. So having a support system that you can pour into and they pour into you, that's how you maintain that balance, that stability that I kind of talked about before as being a really important point. That's how you maintain a very strong team who's there to support you and uplift you and make sure that you are presentable and just making it through and thriving every step of the way. In her book, she speaks about how she has a girls retreat. She has a girls retreat with some of her closest friends, and like it was just so cool because the way she describes it, like I can't even retell it properly. So just like you just have to read the book because she does such a good job at describing and just telling her story. But she has a girls retreat for them and all her closest friends, and it was just something that was just like, okay, like that's the literal like the physical form of you like highlighting and you like pouring into your friend and your circle. So I'm gonna put this bottle down and we're gonna hop back in. So this next point is a really big one. It's something that she talks about in almost every single interview she does, but it's showing up in her authentic self and bringing what she has to offer to the table and then letting that just carry on and grow. So when you think about her garden, she put her passion and she put herself into the garden, and she was able to connect and bring in the youth, young girls, young boys, just young people, and to showcase, hey, we got this. Look at what you guys can do if you have those resources and have that support, kind of culminating and pulling everything together that she stands for in that garden. And if you look at it today, I believe it produces, she said, like over 200 pounds of vegetables and fruits. So that's amazing. And it's something that probably would not have happened if she didn't stand in her truth and be authentic to herself and show up 100% as well as she knew she could be, to make sure that idea came to fruition and she was able to execute and kind of drive the narrative of that mission. So the takeaway here is that if you show up as your full authentic self and you apply that and you're able to stay true to yourself throughout your actions and throughout your endeavors, then like that's just gonna beget. It's gonna beget, and you're just gonna be capable of so much more, and you're gonna feel so much more stronger in what you do and what you say and the way you move. So that was a really big takeaway for me, is that when you show up as your full authentic self, you're capable of much more, and that you're able to learn and adapt to the situation around you a lot easier when you're just being your natural self. Now, my last and final point. Now guys, I've been like waiting to say this because like this is just like when I finally realized this, like I was just like, what? Like I'm so excited. But this last point is that through her book, I took away that I am like Barak Obama. Now listen. It makes sense because Get it together, Jayla. See, right now, him and I, we relate right now in this moment. Okay. So the way she describes Barack Obama is like he is like a ball. He's like a ball of just like so many ideas, so many concepts, such a big game plan, big picture, but it's organized. It's organized chaos. So to her, he's like a tornado. But to him, it makes sense. It's organized chaos. And the way that Barack Obama operates is that once he gets like set on something, he wants to see it through. He's going to like, he's like a go-getter. He's gonna go and get it, and he's gonna do it like he's running a race, you know what I mean? She just talks about how his mind is always on go. Like he's always thinking of a new idea. He's always trying to innovate. He's always like thinking of the bigger picture, thinking of others. Just like he sees the world on this like big grand scale that's just like, oh my God, so do I. Like we relate. And we're Leos. Okay, anyway, but it's just like he's organized chaos, and he's like, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. Hey. And the Michelle is like stability, okay, stable, okay, routine, consistency, and she like keeps the ship going. You know what I mean? Like if we're running a race, then she's like, every stride is a perfect stride. Every stride is a perfect stride, and Barack's just like. And he's like going, and he's going. And mind you, he can maintain this go. He can maintain the. He may slow down sometimes, but his mind is still. But Michelle is just like stable, stability. And in my life, I'm always like, I'm always on go. And even when I slow down, my mind is still. It's really kind of weird. It's low-key kind of weird, but I just say that all to say that like in my life, like the way I internalized that was that I need a Michelle, because I'm always on go. I'm always like running to that next thing and always trying to achieve more and aim higher and help more people and like build more futures. I'm just on the go. And even when I slow down, I'm never really slowing down. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But Michelle is like so stable. So my new analogy is that I'm looking for a Michelle Obama. Like I need a Michelle Obama. So like, application down below. But yeah, like I'm always on the go. I'm always trying to like achieve more, and I just see that version of organized chaos and that big picture thinking and that vision of hope, that vision of just a bigger vision. I see that in myself, and I see like I can't even speak properly, but I'm just so excited to read his book, because I know like I'm gonna see. It's just I just have such a positive mindset going into his book, because I just feel like I'm gonna be able to relate so much to it, and it's gonna connect, and it just makes me think like, okay, like this is kind of like what I was waiting for, like when you go and you're living or whatever, and you're like reading and you're soaking in the knowledge around you, and then you're trying to connect it to yourself. Yeah, I am a professional busybody, like professionally running that long-term race, running that sprint at 90 miles per hour. And in my life, I know for a fact I'm gonna need someone who's like, okay, routine, okay, stability, because we can't both be running this 90 per hour race. I mean, maybe we can, but one of us needs to like routine, stability, if that makes sense. So like the way that I just internalized that was that I'm looking for a Michelle, and that I'm looking for someone that has that stability, if that makes sense, that slow pace, that we're gonna hit every point, that perfection, that boom, boom, boom. So yes, those are my takeaways from Michelle Obama's book. I really enjoyed reading her book. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. It took me on a journey, and I'm happy that I actually took the time to do so, because I had bought her book when she first released it, and I had started on it, but then I don't know what happened. Maybe it was me running that race, but I got a little sidetracked and never picked it back up. And then Barack Obama released his book, and I was like, oh snap. Do I read her book, or do I read his book first? Like, do I go in order, or do I just skip to his? Like, what am I gonna do here? So I'm glad that I took the time to like actually sit back and read her book and get like kind of like a background story to what their vibe is and how their experience was, and then who she is as a person. But now I'm really excited to read his book, and I actually have it with me. And I just think that this book is about to be like the shiz diz, the business. And I'm ready to hop in. I'm gonna be documenting my journey on reading this book on Instagram. So feel free to follow me at Hyperactive Vibes. Vibes on Instagram. And I'll be back with another book review on Barack Obama, A Promised Land. And as you guys can tell, I actually got the book for like 20% off at Barnes & Noble. If you're interested, then definitely maybe check out your local library and see if they have the audio version of A Promised Land. They probably more than likely do. There's probably just going to be a wait list. And if you can get on that audio list, that way it's free. It's your public library. They're not going to make you pay anything. So thank you all for tuning in today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I really enjoyed talking about Michelle Obama and what the impact of her journey has been like for me. I've enjoyed just kind of diving deep and looking into her life and looking into the life of the Obamas and kind of getting a feel of what it's like to be a working woman on the go, a working woman with a mission who is constantly having to change and adapt and wanting to show up as her authentic, fulfilled self, who has a mission that's bigger than just her. It was inspiring to read her book. It was inspirational to read her book. I'm so glad that I took the time and did that, and I'm very excited to continue on with Barack Obama's book, A Promised Land. So if you have not already, then please like this video down below, subscribe, hit that alarm bell so you're notified every time I post, and share the video. Leave a comment and share with me what you think about Michelle Obama's book if you read it, and don't forget to spread those positive vibes. Ooh. So you guys are probably wondering, like, why is there a band-aid on my wrist? So I have a job, and in that job I have to use like a blade to open up stuff, and I like cut my little wrist a little bit, and it kind of, yeah, it's a baby cut, but I was wearing long sleeves and I didn't want to have the long sleeves rubbing over the cut, so I just put a band-aid over it. Like, you can barely even see the cut, but basically I'm a little clumsy.